Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and today, well, tonight for me, I'm filming this during the night and I'm very brave for it, don't tell me otherwise. I'm gonna be reading pretty much the rest of the tweets in the Bediink haunted house thread. If you missed part one, basically this user detailed her haunted house experience in part one of our video. This is going to be part two with a lot of the videos that she had included, a lot of the kind of like proof she had posted after the fact of creating the thread, and just the rest of the experiences that were had in this insanely haunted house. I'm also going to give my thoughts on what is in the house at the end of this video, and just sort of my theories on it and everything like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one, and let's jump straight into the tweets. So where we had left off, the entire family had vacated the house and left so many of their belongings behind. Sophia says, one time I went over to grab something, and when I grabbed the door to leave the house, it felt like someone jumped on my back and I fell to the floor. That's the last time I went in alone. We had a painter come recently and warned him about the house. He said he doesn't believe in ghosts and that'll be fine. After him being there for less than half an hour, he called my mom freaking out, saying he's not going back in there, that something had gotten into him. On a more positive note, my 95-year-old great-grandmother, who's lived with us for 6 years, is tremendously better since we moved. We blamed her disintegrating health on old age, but now we believe it was the house making her weaker. She's been happier and way more active since we moved. She used to just lay in bed all day and eat her dinners in her room because she didn't have the energy to move. Now she's always up and around, not even using her walker. 95 and killing it. I don't have much else to add as of now, but multiple paranormal groups have went through the house to gather evidence, and I'll post whatever they send us, so stay tuned. Also, if you know anyone who wants to buy a haunted house, hit me up. Oh, and here's a picture of my bedroom from Google Maps. Not sure what to think about this, but I'll just leave it here. And she shows that it almost looks like a man in uniform or something. Like I sort of see a hat on his head, and it looks very skeletal. But maybe I'm overreacting. It definitely is somebody in the mirror, but it also doesn't look like a real person, so I don't know. One of the groups didn't get that much evidence because all of their equipment kept dying, but they caught this after prompting the demon to communicate with them. We think it says cheater because it doesn't like all of the technology being used. If you think it says something else, let me know. And here's that video. I definitely heard cheater in that. I don't hear anything but cheater. They also left a recorder up in my room and went downstairs to do the rest of their investigation. This growl was caught and a random knocking that I'll post in the next tweet. So here's the growl. This happened a few times throughout the night, but they're all pretty similar, so I'm just posting this one along with this video. And then it definitely is just like a huge knock. A lot of people have been asking, and yes, we do know of people who have died in the house. 3 people that we know of. 3 people is a lot to die in a house, girl. That's a lot of energy running around. A boy who committed suicide, his mother, Janine, could be Gigi, and someone who was visiting. The reports say his death was natural but suspicious. These are my mom's texts with my dad the day that the cops came. Notice the date at the top. So then these are her mom's texts with her dad. What is going on over there? Any idea yet? That was so scary. Even the cops are creeped out. Do you think it was a ghost or what? The cops heard him. He answered them, but then he wouldn't show himself. But there was nobody there. Were all the windows locked? Yes, plus cops were all around the house outside when the other cops heard him, so he couldn't have gotten out. Plus the windows crank open, so you can't shut them from the outside without breaking them. You need to get that house cleansed. Do you know anyone who does that? No. Do you have any other explanation other than that? The cops are scared. Did you hear him? What did he say before you called the cops? The girls and I all heard him loud and clear. He called the name Gigi and then was asking where Gigi is. What the heck? Have any of your neighbors been there long enough to remember the past owners of the house? Haven't you guys heard footsteps and other stuff up there before? The cops heard him clear too. They said they were the police and to announce himself and that he was up there, and he said, yeah, I'm here. Then he wouldn't show his hands and stuff, so they sent a dog up. Is it coming from Sophia's room for sure? What did the dog do? It was coming from the hallway upstairs and the footsteps were in Sophia's room, but we always hear those. Is there an attic? The dog didn't find anyone. They went through all the crawl spaces. Even looked with a thermal camera so they could see if there was heat anywhere. Is anyone still at the house? What's the plan? So Sophia just included those as kind of extra proof that what was happening truly was happening.
So unfortunately, they were just things that weren't exactly included in the original thread, so I completely missed this next tweet from Sophia saying, so this is happening, I guess, along with screenshots from 2 different people regarding her vacant house. This first one says, we just pulled up and we're sitting across the street and a light turned on. All your lights are on, but we saw the light turn on. To which Sophia says, that's terrifying, oh my god. And then the person sends a photo of her house with all of the lights on. Then she shows that someone else texted her and said, bro, OMG, blank and I drove past your old house, right? And then one of the lights on the outside turned on and off. And then we drove by again. Oh god, that's so scary. And the 2 outside lights flickered back and forth. We waited outside to see if anything happened. Then the inside lights started turning on and off. And the house is vacant, isn't it? To which Sophia says, it is vacant.
Then, a few days after the original thread, although this was posted the same as the other video, this was just sent to me. No light should be on in the house other than the kitchen. Also, even if the front porch lights somehow caught motion from the street, why did one just turn on? I'm seriously freaked out.
Go.
That video gives me chills all over my body. Every light in that abandoned house is on. So unless someone is staying there and has them all on, which I saw nobody inside, why are all the lights on? And why did that porch light come on just like seconds after the car went by? If it truly was a motion detector, I agree with her. Why was there that weird like delay? I don't know. And I did say that there wasn't anybody in the house, but now that I'm seeing some of these responses, it kind of looks like there are like shadow people in the house. Okay, so one of these, oh, I have chills from this one. There's like a huge shadow man in the window. I also see another screenshot where someone is almost poking their head out. I wish that she could go through these and sort of explain a lot of this, but there are definitely people in the house. But that one, if that might just be a piece of furniture or something, but that's like an insanely tall like shadow person. Ew, I hate that. Sophia continues, I guess what I want to tell everyone, my main point of posting this is don't mess with demons. Don't use Ouija boards, don't try to communicate with them. It's not a cool, fun game. I know it's interesting and that's why I did a Ouija board years ago, which probably factors into this. On a final note, hoping that I won't have anything else to add for the people who don't believe this. I completely understand as it was hard for me to believe while experiencing it. If you have any questions or you think something doesn't add up, message me. And for the people who do believe my story and are scared because of it, it's good that you acknowledge the paranormal side of the world because it is very real and very scary. Just know that a prayer or a relationship with God will keep you safe. My family wasn't religious at all before these past few months, but after seeing how Jesus protected us through everything, has shown us the power that faith and prayer has. Psalm 91 is great to read, and if you ever feel scared, message me if you have questions or want advice. Then, on the 27th, she said a paranormal investigator was in the house this weekend and caught this voice from a recorder that was left in my mom's bed. I couldn't figure out how to screen record it without it getting much quieter than what I'm hearing, so you might want to use headphones. And then there's this video. Big shout to the user Polito808 for being able to make it louder. You can more clearly hear the I hear your voice in this one. I'll post more updates as they're sent to us. And then finally, to complete this thread, here is the first half of a video taken from my room, pointed towards the crawl space in the back of my closet, which I think is where she had hung the curtain. Beeping means temperature increase.
Turn the flashlight on, let us know you're still here. Thank you. We're not getting as strong of responses.
Maybe it's video shy.
Video shy. What is that thing? Thank you. Oop, is the pod?
Yeah, it was the pod and
Pod was blipping.
yeah, the light.
That was a strong hit.
Oh, and the second. So maybe should I stop it?
No, I think it's interesting. You turn them off, please. So confirm you turn the lights on because there are multiple spirits back there in the attic. Can you do that? Turn on more than one flashlight.
Of course, it stops doing it when it's a video.
Yeah. Does this thing frighten you? This phone she has in her hand? Does that intimidate you? Are you tired of answering questions through the flashlight? You want us to leave?
It does look like she did post the second half of the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in right now.
Okay. You want us to stay a little longer? I've got a radio. You may be able to speak through it. You want to try that?
Temperature increase because the blue light's not on.
Scary. Wow. Maybe that's maybe that could be it. This typically kind of happens in bursts. You know, we get like a number of responses and then just sort of die.
Should I stop it or should I keep
Let me ask if you want us to ask more questions and talk to you, turn on a light, please. Any of them. We can ask you a few more questions if you like. Okay. Thank you. Sort of weak responses, though.
That one was strong. It just came on really strong.
Oh, okay. Sort of.
It was just kind of.
Thanks a lot. You turn it off? Thank you.
Were you here before my family ever moved in?
As far as I know, that's it. That's it for this thread. That's it for the story. And I'm going to shoot Sophia a message and just ask her if there are any updates or if there's anything else she'd like to share just with you guys about the house or any of her other experiences. But I can imagine if I were her, I'd want to put that house as far behind me as humanly possible. And in my personal opinion, I can't vouch for anybody, but I believe this story to be true. I believe this girl's experiences to be 100% true, and something about it just like my heart feels like tight just like reading the story. Like my entire like body is terrified. I'm literally terrified for this family and what they went through. And unfortunately, I believe that they are right, and whatever they were experiencing was demonic in nature. Here's what's so weird to me is like that man yelling Gigi. I believe that could be something like a residual haunting. Somebody still, you know, I think that Haley actually did a video somewhat recently describing the different kinds of hauntings, different kinds of ghosts. And I don't know if she called it a residual haunting in her video or not, but basically what I would describe that as is something that like doesn't really know or doesn't really react to like people around it. It more so is just going through its own routine and like maybe not even necessarily knows that it's passed away. Sometimes people can argue that it's not even an intelligent haunting with like the means of doing anything else. It's just somebody or energy left behind. That's a better way to put it. It's just like someone's energy left behind doing this mundane task, or maybe it was this guy calling for Gigi or the mother, as they maybe believed it could be. But then when the cops came and he said, yeah, I'm here, that doesn't make any sense. To get a response like that, and it's like real, like it was like detailed in a report, like to get a response like that, that can't just be a residual haunting. And then later, when the mom had let the dogs out and then the man says, oh, the dogs are out, he wouldn't have noticed that. You know what I mean? I have chills. Like, wearing this like giant puffy sweater and I have chills. I don't know. That really scares me. But also, like, why? Why was he calling for Gigi? Who was he looking for? Like, that is so genuinely bizarre to me. And I don't think she ever mentioned her sister's name. I know that in the report, the mom's name was Michelle. I don't know if the sister had a name with a G or anything like that. Why was he calling for Gigi? Who was Gigi? And why would that, instead of just blatantly scaring the crap out of the family, why call for Gigi? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me in that regard, and I wonder what it is. I'm glad that the family is getting paranormal investigators in there to kind of look at it, and I'm also glad that they, you know, moved out. I would not recommend that they return to that home at all. I would go there and possibly do like a spirit box or something, but also, like, if it's truly demonic, I don't think I'd ever genuinely want to touch it. I'm sure you could get some crazy responses from something like that, but like, if it truly is demonic in nature and like there are those things sort of drawn to that house and drawn to that energy, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near it. I am glad to see that hopefully it's not following them and it's not attached to their family, it's attached to the home, which likely means that it was a former homeowner and then other energies just sort of came around and fed off of that negativity, you know? Ugh, this poor family was definitely like tortured by whatever the heck this was, and I'm so glad that they are doing better now. But in my genuine opinion, my theory is that it was demonic. Something about it was demonic, whether it was something masquerading as a person who was once alive, or I don't even know. But this thread scared the absolute freaking crap out of me, and I had to know what you guys thought of it. So if you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you all so very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.